Blake Lively had to comply with the order to release all of those messages and let them be unsealed so the public can see. And I'm cracking the fuck up at these text messages. Oh, I would love to be on this PR team. Honestly, Katie Case, it must be a Katie thing. We're just so great. But Katie Case, someone has to tell them to grow up. They promoted a movie about domestic violence as if it was a silly rom-com. What did they expect? That's when Brie Kozlow chimes in and she goes, they should be told that we have stuff too. Let this die. We do a big story on bullying and breaking the strike, and he releases text messages with her. So they already had a play. They were like, we got leverage, girl. Why are you talking? Melissa Nathan comes in and is like, yeah, Leslie's son's telling me I was the one that did the Team JD and bots. And Katie Case comes in and goes, wait, tides were already turning. Jed didn't come on until what, Thursday? Katie Case goes, we didn't tell Jed to go after the idea that her promo was inappropriate. That happened organically because people saw the actual movie and were like, wait, this is a movie about domestic violence that they were forced. I still am just dying. Oh, Zoe sent me this on Saturday and goes, this is a crazy way to market this movie. This is what she sent. Let me show you. Grab your friends, wear your florals. It ends with this movie now playing exclusively in theaters. This is a crazy way to market a movie. Like, come on, we had nothing to do with that. And Brie says, that's crazy. She doesn't have a good reputation. All of this organic stuff from real people making TikToks, not bots. What? Exactly. If it was just comments, I'd be like, oops, but it's not. Then they attach this article. I mean, I wish some of this was us. Ha 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 ha. Exactly. I'm convinced Katie Case and I would be really good friends in real life. I hate feeling stuck and not having anything to counter with these stories. And Melissa Nathan says they want him to put out a fucking statement. Do they know about what yet, though? Like, specifically, what he's meant to be apologizing for? No, they have no idea still. So Blake Lively and her team were asking Justin Baldoni to come out with an apology statement. But they weren't clear on the specifics for that yet. Brie Kozlow says, does Justin's team want us to try and fight these fighting on the set headlines? They're so cautious, but then speak to Baldoni. I can't get a read. Melissa Nathan says things are blowing up. The last message, it's Brie and Katie Case that are just basically saying, okay, he's going to be obliterated on Sunday, so let's start prepping something just in case. And Brie shares the next set of messages where she says she calls her Leslie Dart instead of Sloan, but they're time-stamped when they got the news. There are sensitivities between Sarah and Melissa being sisters, but we weren't ever getting any favors from her. So these are messages between Brie Case and Katie Kozlow surrounding, and she goes, hey, do not suggest any world where there are two separate screening rooms. So they were trying to hide that fact, ideally to protect the movie and protect Blake Lively. Brie says, is there zero chance to negotiate separate entrances at the premiere? Would she really ruin this moment for everyone else? Seems the only scenario is either the premiere is canceled or he doesn't go. And if he doesn't go, we need to get ahead of a stronger position of a potential boycott and balance of power as narrative. If no premiere at all, still need to get ahead of it, but perhaps in a softer way, weaving in messaging about difficulties and lessons. Yeah, I probably couldn't be a PR person. Either way, we have to think that she is inevitably going to come out at some point, whether subtly or blatantly. And Katie Case says, I'm so sorry, this is totally blown up. I don't think that we can walk through. Of course, I figured it's a dump. Anyway, are you okay? Yeah, and then she goes, did MN, Melissa Nathan, tell you that Leslie called up Sarah to ask her to do a hit piece on JB following the premiere? So I do think we need to focus on him getting ahead of all of this. Sorry, I know you're not focused, but just making it out part of the document before. And you can't read the rest, I don't know. Oh, then remember, this is the overall message that they were having on 12/24. Those were just screenshots she sent in those messages. But Brianna Kozlow says, this was the first piece of press that broke in August, done by our team. I'll send over emails of us engaging with reporters. There was no comment from our end. Sorry, this was the original story done by Sarah, who had been contacted by Leslie. The date is August 9th of the story. Our text messages dating August 1st discuss how Leslie reached out to Sarah. So Sarah Nathan, even though she was sisters with Melissa, was still writing hit pieces for Blake Lively. Huh. Hey, has Leslie bothered you late of today? And no, she's completely ignoring me because she knows that she's doing this. Oh, and then the WME. So is there any truth to this deadline story, which WME wouldn't confirm as Justin been dropped? I believe it's true. Crazy. I know. And also confirming that all of the texts I share are just off the record for now and only for review. I just want to make sure my colleague Katie's name isn't referred to, so we're not named in the... Too late, girl. Brian is our lawyer on this, who wants to chat with you as well. Girl, it's too late. You got sucked in.